Okay, friends, well, guess what I did? I hit the stop button instead of the pause button. So we'll just do a quick run through of just some of my trees. Well, actually all my trees, because like I said, I do have 5. So this is the tree that I have put up every year since I got this one in, oh goodness, let me see. I think I've had this tree since 1984. All my trees are artificial because I love to leave them up a little bit longer, and I don't want to have to deal with needles. So this is the quote family tree. This is the one that when my kids were little, I would put all of their ornaments on, or I would allow them to decorate it, I should say, to put their ornaments on. So it was the family tree. Now, as I said before, my 4 kids, they each have, well, my one son, my youngest son, I still have his ornaments. He is the one that, liked all of the construction pieces, like the Tonka. He was also a big Looney Tunes fan. So we have those. These are my boys when they were little. That's the oldest. This is the one that has a New Year's birthday. This is the one that gave me the feet for Christmas. They all made these ornaments when they were in school, and unfortunately, my daughter did not make one. I stitched this for Vince for his first Christmas. And then all of my other kids have theirs that I made for them for their first Christmas. So this one has got a lot of ornaments that I received as gifts. Just a multi-themed kind of tree. And it is one of my favorites, obviously, because it does have a lot of things on this tree that, are just fun. There is one of my Christmas presents at the bottom there on the floor. My husband got me 2 concrete Labradors. That's the puppy. The bigger one is outside because it's so darn heavy. It's sitting outside wrapped in plastic until the spring. So this is tree number 1. This is tree number 2. The ornaments on this tree are ornaments that my mother had when I was a kid. The angel at the top of this tree, and I forgot to mention the other angel too. I made this angel when I was in kindergarten. It has baby cereal on it, that little powdery kind of stuff. That's what's on there. So these ornaments are very old. Every year I'm always very concerned about dropping one and breaking one because they cannot be replaced. This guy here, if you look really closely, he has a tag of 35 cents. I don't know if you remember these angel hair ornaments. I made that folded star for my mother. Here's one of my rudimentary ornament making way back when I was about 8 or 9 years old, right? So this is the antique tree. This one I actually have out in the hall here because I don't want anybody touching it. I made these stockings for my mother and stepfather pretty much when they first got married. And, I embroidered them. They're made out of velvet, and I hang them here in honor of them. This is my 3rd tree. This is my sewing and crafting tree. A lot of the ornaments on here I made. I have a bunch of the cross-stitch ornaments that I made back in the 80s and 90s because, raising young kids, you just don't have money for decorations. So you make your decorations. 1991 on that one. Okay. So I remember making these satin ornaments again as a teenager. I have some of my favorite things on here, like Gone with the Wind. That's my favorite movie. I am also a huge fan of John Wayne. He's right here. Actually watched a John Wayne movie yesterday. I have a Trans Am on here. Why? Because I own one. I have a Trans Am, my favorite car. So, we've got the sewing theme here, quilting. Gosh, I remember making this too. But this is my sewing and crafting tree. The tree skirt under here I crocheted. When my daughter moved down to Long Island quite a few years ago, she took it with her, and then ended up giving it back to me. So that's under here. The cat seems to like to go in there and make a little nest. The angel on the top of this tree actually belonged to my mother-in-law. She passed away a couple years ago. It was just her 2-year anniversary. So I have that on the tree here. This is tree number 4. My husband and I are baseball fans. He's a Dodgers fan. Yuck. I'm a Mets fan. So this is just our little tiny skinny baseball tree. I do have some ornaments on here from Cooperstown, Baseball Hall of Fame. Good old Mike Piazza. The Mets, the Mets, the Mets. I usually hide the Dodgers ornaments in the back. My next ornament that I would love to be able to find is an Al Leiter ornament. He was my all-time Mets favorite player. So this is the baseball tree, and the angel on the top of this tree was made by me quite some time ago. And this is the last tree. This is the dog tree, which is now going to become a part of the family of trees. It was actually a tree that I bought for my mother, and then after she passed, my son took it, and they were letting the little kids decorate it. And then this year they're like, do you want this back? Because, you know, they're getting rid of things. I'm like, yeah, sure. Throw it in the back hall. My grandkids came over and decorated it. And how long have I had these satin ornaments? Yeah, I was going to turn those into beaded ornaments way back in the 70s, right? And that's fine because it works perfect for here. So I figure this tree now will become the dog tree, right? The animal tree. I do have quite a few other dog ornaments on one of the other trees. So this ornament here was given to me as a gift. I'm trying to get the sunlight out of it. This is my Maisie girl. She was my heart dog. And then this is Pip. Pip is going to be 10 next month. And then this is Moses. Moses passed a year ago. And this is the puppy Chet. Chet's 1.5 years. They're all English labs. I've had 7 English labs in my lifetime now. And, you know, they're awesome. This was my daughter's first cat, Machi. You know, so I think next year when I do this tree, actually this one right here, that's Cherry. She was my very first lab. So, you know, this tree next year will have a little bit more to it. Don't mind all the party stuff down here because this is my back hall. So this will become the dog tree. And yeah, so 5 trees. So I just want to come back and finish with my first tree here. You'll see the tree skirt under here. This was one of the first quilted tree skirts that I made, and I made it for my mother. And she used it every year. A couple years before she passed, when she moved in here, she had stopped decorating. I don't know why. That could be a whole other story. But obviously, you know, when I got the Christmas things, I started using this tree skirt. I am an only child, so everything obviously came to me. Now, let me show you this angel on the top of the tree here. This angel was my grandfather's, then it was my father's, then my mother gave it to me. I am, as I said, 65 years old, and I have remembered that angel on the top of our tree every single year. And I'm hoping that one of my children will take it and carry on with it. That, and I have a couple other pieces that I've just remembered forever, right? And they're very comforting to have those kinds of pieces. I'm hoping that, you know, you all have things that bring you joy, that maybe you've made or somebody has made for you. I mean, I could go on all day talking about Christmas decorations. All of these Santas were my mother's. She really liked those kinds of things. So just as an homage to her, I put them up. Maybe it's not my kind of thing, but you know what? They're cute. You can do a nice little decoration, a little setting with them, and they're really cute. So this is where I'm going to finish. I don't think I'm going to be able to blend these two together. I don't know. Maybe I can edit them. I don't know. But yeah, I hit the stop button instead of the pause button. So here we are, December 26th. I will come back. Well, let's see. Checking my calendar, I'm probably going to come back the second week of January. As I've said earlier, I have to start radiation, and I'm not 100% sure when it is going to start, but it will be every day, 5 days a week for 3 weeks. So depending on what's going on, I will definitely be back. Hopefully you're going to be doing the stitch along from the Across the Pond stitch along. That'll be fun. I hope you have a New Year's Day start that you've got planned out. I know I do. I've said Americana Blue probably 75 times already, right? Work on your winter themed if you're in an area where there is winter right now, right? Get your things ready for the first of the year, whether you're using a stitching book like the Book of Days, or if you have a notebook that you're using. I know I really want to pull out all of my things and try to make sure that I'm not duplicate buying like I almost did this morning. I know I'm going to be working on Pattern Keeper and trying to figure out how I can get some of my patterns in there. I'm really hoping that I didn't make a bad purchase. I'm sure it's going to work fine for me. I just have to find the patterns that actually will, that are compatible with Pattern Keeper. And as I've said, I'm trying to do the smaller patterns on Pattern Keeper. You know what? It's a process. I'll figure it out. I'm not going to worry about it, right? So I hope you all had a wonderful, wonderful Christmas if you celebrate. I hope you were able to spend time with family, or I know that there's a lot of people that just wanted to be in peace and quiet. I hope that if you had loved ones that were not here with you at the holiday, you were able to have them in your heart, and not to go off on a tangent, but when I was wrapping my grandkids' presents, I pulled out a bag, because, hey, we don't throw anything out. We don't get rid of bows or wrapping paper or tissue paper, right? Well, on this particular bag was a tag that said, "To Barb from Mom." Honest to God, it made me cry because my mother passed in 2018. So I have not had a Christmas gift from my mother since, 2017 was my last Christmas gift. So to see, that little tag on a bag to me from my mother, it brought me joy. It brought me, a little bit of sorrow, but it did bring me joy because I was like, oh, thanks, Ma. Okay. So maybe that was just that little bit of, yeah, I'm still here. I'm still around, right? Even though sometimes my mother and I were oil and water and we didn't mix, she's still my mother, right? If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be sitting here in front of quilts or doing all of these things. So anyway, I hope you were able to have a wonderful holiday. I hope you have a safe and happy new year. 2025 is going to bring a lot of changes for people, and I hope they're all good changes for you. I'm remaining positive and fingers crossed, right? We're never promised the next day, but what we do have is today. So make your today a very, very good day. Bye, friends. We'll see you shortly.